Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to make this quick because fat loss is pretty straightforward. People just tend to overcomplicate it because, everybody wants results in like 2 weeks or 30 months. But typically, fat loss is calories in, calories out, right? And I know how people say, oh, if I eat 12 packs of donuts, and that's, let's say, 1,000 calories, and I eat 6 apples, and that's also 1,000 calories. Apples have certain benefits that donuts just really don't give you. So honestly, when it comes to your calories, you have to like make sure you know what you're like putting in your body. You just can't eat anything and then expect, oh, I'm still gonna lose weight at a certain rate or a certain like capacity or any form. So let's say I wanna eat a whole bucket of KFC chicken, right? I don't know what came in my mind, but first thing I thought of, right? The KFC chicken like has protein, right? Protein's good, but it has a bunch of fat. And trans fats aren't really ideal for you, especially when you're trying to lose weight. Because, it leads to obesity, leads to heart health, leads to heart disease, leads to diabetes. I could go on. The point is, it's not really ideal for you to do anything. But instead of me like trying to like ramble on about certain things and go like that, I'm just gonna keep it simple and straight to the point. So, I'm trying to lose weight, should be in a calorie deficit. You could put I'll put in the description my fitness pal, and then you could no, that's to track your calories. Correction. I'll put in the description a place where you could put your weight, your height, how physical you are, everything like that, and it tells you like your daily range, and you need to be in a deficit anywhere between 200 to 500 calories. You could go more aggressive, but if you are a beginner, I'd recommend you stay at a place where you can like maintain and make sure you keep it in the long run. Also, if you don't see results immediately, your scale shouldn't be the only form of indication for you. Because sometimes our weight fluctuates between 2 to 5 pounds every day. A scale is not always indicative of like how your progress is going. I can use me for example. I'm never the same weight any day of the week. One day I could be 215, one I could be 220. I think yesterday I was 225, which I thought was crazy, by the way. But like it's like an example of like certain things. It's like water weight, how you slept, what you ate, how much activities you did that way. It's like a multitude of reasons why like our weights aren't anything. Yeah, you could get a DEX scan, but like that's not always accurate either. Honestly, I think you should just go based off how your clothes feel and how actually you still use the scale because I think the scale is still beneficial for a multitude for a reason. You could get a smart scale. I might also leave that in the description if anyone's interested in getting that. I think it's helped me in my my body loss process because it tells you how much muscle mass you have. Granted, I do think it's a little interesting that like a $20 scale, but hey, it doesn't hurt to try new things, right? After all, so yeah, I got sidetracked. But no, you need to be in a deficit in order to like make sure you're losing weight in a shortened period. Well, if you're obese, I feel like you could go a little bit more aggressively, where you could go like maybe 7 to 800, in comparison to what you're used to. Like me, for example, my maintenance day to day is 3,000 calories. That's because like I'm a typically tall dude and I'm kind of like stocky built, so I can afford to eat more calories in order to keep my mass. But for me to be in a deficit, I'd have to do 2,500 or 2,800, which I feel like isn't really too. I mean, if you're first starting, I feel like that's ideal. But for like the long run, I feel like you need to like gradually go lower and lower and lower. Like let's say you're trying to lose 40 pounds. 40 pounds is anywhere between 6 to 12 months of just consistency. After all, your body is like, how they say abs are made in the kitchen. I wouldn't, they're not though. They're really made of like how you take care of yourself. That's pretty fairly obvious though. Abs aren't typically made in the kitchen. Abs are made of how you eat, how you sleep, how you take care of yourself, and other multitude of reasons. Sleep, now that I mentioned that, most people don't sleep enough. If you can't sleep, your body can't recover. That way you won't see enough nutrients in order for you to like expand upon yourself and like anything you plan on doing in the long run. I feel like if more people were to just sleep more often, we see our results. Even me, I'm I'm trying to do better, but I feel like I get sidetracked and then I just randomly pass out. Little side note, but just to summarize everything I just said, I was a little all over the place. I do apologize for that. But calorie deficit, I'm gonna put in the description two places you can get it. If you anyone's interested in a smart scale, I'll also put that in the description. You also you should track your calories. I know some people are probably against that because they like, it gives them anxiety of seeing all those numbers and stuff. But I think, for example, typically put your hand in a fist like this, and then you see how much like you should be eating. Typically, like rice, most people like rice, which rice is a good source of carbs. But most people like white rice and not brown rice, which is more healthy for you. I also like white rice. White rice is pretty good. Not gonna lie. But you put your hand in the fist and then you gauge based off that. But there's like a certain like percentage of like how we should eat. You could do like 30% protein, 40% carbs, and 30% fats. You don't have to do that. That's just like a random arbitrary number I decided for those three. You could do you could do like maybe you want a little bit more protein, maybe you want more carbs. I wouldn't recommend fats anything more than 30 honestly, because then that's how you know like you overeat and then your insulin goes up and other things like that. But typically weight loss isn't as complicated as people make it out to seem. You just have to do certain steps. You just stay consistent. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. You didn't gain that weight overnight. You're not gonna lose it overnight. You just have to stay consistent and time span, in order for you to see the results you want to see. If there's anything you think I should elaborate on, leave it in the comments. But have a good day, guys.